to explain all the twists and turns.
Yeah, we had a lot of mind games in game number 1. You know, this Naga Siren pickup being a pos 5, answered by the Tide Hunter, which we thought was an offlaner, giving Wildcard maybe the illusion. Oh, yeah. Looks like Marcy gets through the draft.
Can't say no to a Marcy.
It's impossible. That hero just gives you way too much. It does mean the Polaris get their Undying again, but didn't really have much game impact last game, to be fair.
Yeah, it wasn't absolutely huge. I think they just need maybe a little bit more lockdown to go along with it. So still feeling confident in the opening here. You know, we've said how varied the drafts have been from Polaris, but feeling confident going for the run back, at least thus far. I do worry a little bit about, you know, there's already this Marcy, so there's already some ganking potential and a hero to get on top of the Lina. We've seen how scary even just a support Marcy can be for some of these squishier cores. And I was wondering if Wildcard might consider going for like their Visage or something like that, but just gonna go for the Morphling.
Sure, why not? Very nice combo with a Marcy. They do each other a lot of favors, especially the sidekick early on to heal you up when you're full agi. Very, very efficient.
Yeah, definitely nice. They have some pretty straightforward Roshan here without really having to commit, you know, too many picks to it. It's kind of incidental that they've got this sort of free Rosh. I'm just trying to have a quick look at who's actually played the Marcy for them. I think it might only be Alex. It was a huge part of their regional run. Played 7 games of it. I think he's only managed to get it once here in the last chance qualifiers, but that was a win. So probably just expecting to see the pos 4 and Wildcard being in this this first pick position are going to be able to get rid of the AA after snagging the morph. For anybody out there who's curious, it was Polaris's priority this game, I believe, and they chose second pick, and Wildcard took Dire.
Right.
I'm always the guy in the out there watching the stream, be like, "But what was the coin flip? What was the pick priority?" So, to the 1% of people that are interested, that's how it went down.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth in there, but we don't have the time of day. And we'd also probably lose like half the people watching if we decide to.
Yeah, no, this is just...
If you got into that, so no base skip. You're not allowed to talk about that. Let's talk about this line pick instead.
It's Burst against the Morphling. In theory, it's, you know, some lockdown as well. This hero has... I thought it was pretty dead. In terms of pub stats, it's been one of the absolute worst supports, but kind of coming back a little bit here in the last chance qualifiers. Could be okay. I guess we'll just have to see. I think a lot of it comes back to Polaris just identifying, like, the thing that we really didn't like about our draft last game was we didn't have somebody to start these fights easily, right? We were relying on a Nyx landing a Blink Impale. Lion going to be a whole lot more reliable than that with a Blink Hex or, you know, Blink Earth Spike.
Yeah, definitely. I said it last time, say it again. Having a bit of throwaway initiation seems to be such a bonus at the moment in all of these games. Just having someone who can go in, get some stuns off. Maybe you miss them. Maybe that person dies. Who cares? It's a Lion.
Man, I'm shocked that they managed to get the Visage all the way into second phase when they've already got the Marcy. We've seen this combo look pretty crazy. Certainly gives them a lot of push potential, a lot of Rosh. Wildcard seem they seem pretty happy about it. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll take the Visage if you'll let us have it this late. And Polaris, what do they feel addresses both the Morphling and the Visage in terms of these carry matchups? Man, I'm really not sure.
I mean, it could be their turn with the Ursa, right?
Yeah, it could be their turn with the Naga as well here. Like, just kind of... They're not great at dealing with the illusions on Wildcard. The Naga versus Morphling, I think they just kind of play past each other. It's not really that one of them is like a super strong counter to the other, but the matchup is certainly good for the Naga. I think the win edge is slightly in her favor, but... And it is something that Natsumi plays, I believe. So certainly an option. But if they want it, maybe they have to take it now.
Yeah, also a possibility to just go back for the Terrorblade as well, something which probably the closest thing you get to a consistent pick for the side of Polaris is the Terrorblade.
Yeah, I'm just looking at what else they've been playing, right? We've had some Natsumi Pudge, but that's been banned. Bloodseeker doesn't look great. Yeah, of the things that he's played, to me, the Naga stands out. Maybe the Nature's Prophet, if they feel like there's some way to play this one super fast. But then you are kind of putting yourself in this position again where your two big cores are just, you know, squishy. And they're just going to potentially get jumped on as they go back for the Tide again. And kind of the same situation here where it's, I guess, a flex.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm in love with it.
Yeah, I don't know that I like the Tidehunter that much here. Wildcard are again going to have some of these like escapes and saves. Ways to kind of kite around the team fight a little bit. I get the idea of like parking your watermelon in front of this Visage, trying to push your towers and slowing things down. Wildcard don't have a reliable way to kill him without him getting off the Ravage, but is that going to matter? They're going to have a meaningfully good matchup against the Morphling and the Visage for that kind of delaying the game and playing for teamfight to matter, it feels like here.
Yeah, you're asking a lot from this final pick for Polaris here, I feel like.
Yeah, they do have the last overall pick of the draft. I don't know what else is on the card. So the Drow we've been seeing as like an attempted counter against the Morph. I don't know that it's necessarily look like a hard counter, but you know, the idea is certainly there. You pump out a bunch of damage, you don't care about his armor. The silence is annoying as well. In practice, I think it then goes back to like looking at the other heroes that are around each of them, and the fact that the Morphling Ags is gonna steal a bunch of your Agi and make you sad. And if the Morphling isn't pressured, or if he's got too much net worth, he can maybe just waveform it on top of you. But I shouldn't talk about a matchup too much that we're not even going to be seeing. And they do ban the Faceless Void. Okay, so it's something that Polaris have played a lot of, but in theory, the Morphling's a good matchup there, and maybe Wildcard anticipating that like the TB or the Naga is going to be the thought for Polaris, so just going to kind of pre-counter pick with the Zeus. This is an annoying hero for the Tidehunter to play against as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Like he can die super fast.
I'm gonna have my eyes in this middle lane again, because last game, you know, it was a bit of a beatdown, and this was one of Polaris's core picks. You know, the Lina mid is something which they kind of rely on quite a lot to give them some consistency, and it got wrecked. So they're gonna go for the Slark as the final pick up here on the side of Polaris. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's good against the Morphling. You can just steal a whole bunch of stats off of him. The hero can't buy shotgun anymore, so you're not gonna get popped. We did see it struggle a little bit against the Zeus. That was the VP versus Xtreme match on the first day of groups, where the Ramses Slark was like, he didn't buy a BKB until really late, and it turned out that if Zeus had a whole bunch of farm, like getting pumped by 4 lightning bolts every fight was pretty scary. They did end up winning that one, but I do think they've kind of got the tools to deal with the Slark here. I'm a little bit worried about his laning stage as well. He does have the Undying to help him out, so
yeah. I feel like this Visage Marcy lane though.
Yeah,
it's a difficult
scary
one to lane into, and you've picked a pretty weak laner into it as well. I'm very concerned for Polaris' laning phase.
Yeah. So what? It's Lion Tide against Morphling Snap, which looks not terrible. Maybe Lion has to be a little bit careful with his positioning. And then yeah, Marcy Visage against Slark Undying. Undying's a strong laner, but the Slark's not really contributing that much there, so
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm just like, can the Undying stop the Slark getting run over? And I don't know if he can. You know, it's a hero without disables, so I'm a little bit worried in that regard. But we'll find out how this one's going to go as we get into game number 2 of Wildcard versus Polaris here in the lower bracket of the Last Chance qualifier. If Polaris lose this game, they are done for TI11, full stop. Their season ends here. If they can win it, we equalize, we go to a game 3. Which way is it going to go? Well, we're about to find out. But currently, Polaris is smoked up, but not really looking for anything serious.
They started out as like I think a tentative dark horse for some people, right? Anyone who's been watching the SEA region, and then coming in during the group stage, Polaris looking good. I think a lot of people were enjoying watching them play, and yeah, here they stand against Wildcard on the brink of elimination. But like we said in the preamble, you know, Wildcard, they ended up in the lower bracket, but they certainly have not been slouches this event, even putting paid to some of the top teams. So
yeah, for sure. But Polaris as well, so like such a formidable opponent. Like these guys have taken games off some of the best.
Yep. They certainly have, and we will just have to see how this one plays out as... okay, I mean, Sam manages to sneak in here and secure the only bounty rune that Wildcard are going to get. Not feeling very confident about their heroes at level 1, which I think is fair. They do have a Zeus and a Morphling, who are not renowned for their abilities to fight the runes. But
that's a gentle way to put it.
Yeah. You know, this Morphling hero is one that we often see just people diving him underneath his own tier 1 tower at level 1 because they know that he's a glorified range creep to start.
Yeah, he's a puddle.
Yeah, but he will become stronger as the game goes on.
But again, I'm so interested to see how this middle lane goes down, because after all, we did see Alone getting a huge advantage over Loach early on in the game last time around, so... You know, this time you're playing the Zeus, not quite the same kind of run-over hero. Doesn't have the snowball potential that a Shadow Fiend has, but...
He was getting punched on a little bit here. I think he's okay, but...
Yeah. He was well getting tapped down pretty hard by Davai and Alex down bottom. As up at top, Xavius and Sam trading some heavy hits here. Both of them getting very, very low.
Yeah, neither one of them has a salve. And Sam didn't manage to get his small camp to spawn. That's what Xavius was busy fighting over.
Yeah, oh gosh, that's going to reduce his armor as well, but Xavius doesn't want to come too close with the Morphling moving over as well, so... Yeah, well, no one going down just yet, but getting very, very close to doing so. And Xavius moving around, actually finding the Morphling's courier. So that's going to be a nice little pick-off from him.
Pretty good. He's still very low, but neither one of them really wants to spot the other. Okay, so Xavius gets the camp blocked, but the big camp is going to remain blocked as well. So nothing doing there. So I don't think this mid lane matchup is supposed to be good for the Zeus, and so far it's not turning out that way. The 10-3 against the 6-2, the Lina can definitely bully him a whole lot, and all he can really do is just kind of sit back and grab whatever CS arrives. Maybe hoping for a couple of bottle refills or a gank coming in from the Marcy to turn the tides, but I think this will be a very different look for Lelouch this game compared to game 1.
Yeah, he's going to have much more to work with in the early game. We'll see what he's able to do on this Lina in terms of buying his team some space and some dominance in the early game, controlling the game up a little bit.
Big pressure on Sam. He's almost brought down by the auto attacks. That's going to be first blood.
And Eve's getting on top of Xavius though, looking for the return kill. I'm not sure he can keep up though. With the Fairy Fire in the south, the line's going to be absolutely fine. So it's a trader's kill.
Yeah, and he gets to just sit here and block the small camp one more time. So very annoying. This lane position has been super far up for Wildcard this entire time. The Tide is getting a ton of experience.
Natsumi jumping onto Davai Lama here, but they don't quite have enough damage to bring him down. But yeah, the early point in Soul Rip almost gets the jump onto Davai Lama. I don't think they were ready for that.
Well, it seems like we kind of answered our question about this bottom lane. The Slark seems to be doing absolutely fine. The Undying running interference. And Xavius is trying to make a rotation at mid. This is a little unexpected. But
yeah, I mean, with the creeps under the tower, they could do it.
Is Alex dead? No, he's not dead. Where's this kill?
Oh, alone. Oh, no, they don't quite connect. Heavenly jump gets him to safety, and the line will be left wanting.
Stressful, stressful. Morphling not CSing all that well at top, only kind of tied up with the Tide Hunter. Alone trying to man up on the Lelouch. He doesn't have any mana, but he does have Alex rotating in. But the Undying is also here.
Yeah, let's see. Stun does connect, but Lelouch just pounding damage into Alone here. Very far, it gets used, and with the damage they've got, Lelouch will go down, so Alone gets away. AU's still chasing, but I don't think he's going to be able to close the gap. Under the tower he goes. AU, this is very aggressive. There's a cookie across from Sam, and with the Scan Blast as well, they're able to just kill him off.
Okay, that was that was a little bit closer comfort. I thought the Undying was going to get that auto attack off, but calculated from Alone. I think that Alex may have even mangoed the Zeus in the middle of that. I'm gonna check the combat log. Pray for me that my game doesn't crash.
Go diving into the combat log in the cast. You're a brave man.
Okay, it's not loading anything. Well, I tried.
An attempt was made.
Yep.
Top lane, Sam being pexed up here a little bit. Force and Xavius looking like they'll be able to get that kill with a right click from the Tide Hunter. Just taking a step too far forward on the Snapfire.
Yeah, this top lane's a bit of a disaster for Wildcard, and Tide Hunter kind of getting away with murder. He's got the Soul Ring and the Ring of Health already, so he can kind of play like the Llama played in the last game, just Dragon Waves.
And we see the replay here of this tower jump again as he got so close to touching him. And then Alone just comes in again, my god. It's a risky move, but pays off in the end.
Super important for Zeus's game, and as we saw, and it's still the case, the CS battle is not going to be a win against the Lina, but getting these kills is going to help keep him even on the experience.
Yeah, anything you can pick up
the Llama at bottom
really
valuable. It's gone
Zeus.
on a little bit, but he's okay.
Yeah, so Visage Master Lane not really doing a whole lot early on in the game, but of course when you hit that level 6 on the Visage, that's when that makes all the difference, and that's why Alex is moving around the map so much. He just wants to give Visage as much free XP as possible, but Double-elimination is taking a hell of a beating down here in the bottom lane with his support being away.
Yeah, lots of attention towards mid. Alone does have this ultimate that he's keen to use, so they want Lelouch.
Yeah, but that's going to be a tricky jump from Alex there. Oh dear, now he gets stunned up. LSA coming down as well. And, well, Alone actually jumping up the high ground here. That is aggressive. Doesn't have the mana for the Thunder God's Wrath here, so won't be able to bring either of them down.
Oh, man. They're both so low. Just doesn't have the mana. Where's the mangoes this time?
My kingdom for a mango.
Yeah, worrying for the wildcard supports. They're not really getting levels. You know, Sam's off just trying to block some camps and try and give everything to the Morphling. Lelouch gets jumped and just DP's out at mid.
Bye.
Yeah, huge pressure from Alex, but I don't think it's hurting the Lina too much. It is slowing down his role on the net worth, but the side lanes are just huge wins.
Yeah, that's who is hurting the most. Double-elimination is just getting absolutely destroyed. Every time he tries to go for creeps, there's just heroes upon him, but looking like they might be able to grab at you here. Thunder God's Wrath comes through just to secure the kill. You know, wasn't looking 100% that one, so got to make sure.
It would have been really nice to get something other than the position 5, but Alone's just going to have to take what he can get. And the acceleration into the mana items to keep him farming. It's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, so he's doing okay. Alone is doing okay. Double-elimination, though, really not having a good time. But again, another jump in the middle lane here. Alone's going to be careful, though, as Lelouch gets up a ton of damage. Nice cookie onto 3. They can not finish off Lelouch as he gets back up to the high ground, though. They'll turn their attention towards AO instead, and the Undying will be falling eventually. It takes a bit of time, but they'll rip through the tanky boy eventually. And down the bottom, once again, Natsumi just not letting Double-elimination anywhere near this creep wave.
Yeah, this is really tough. Not having the 6, not having the supports really help you. Maybe Alone can pay back some of this a little later on, especially if they've secured this regen. You know, he's going to get some pretty good farm. But yeah, Double-elimination is going to need the supports to come play with him eventually. They can't just leave him on an island like this permanently. Especially with the slug free farming.
Yep. The bird needs friends, but well, with the wave under tower, actually, this should be a 6 soon. Maybe one more wave, he'll get level 6, and then it's an entirely different game. But yeah, it's been a bit of a brutal journey to get there.
The concerning thing for me in terms of wildcard right now is that they don't really have a great way to come and take this bottom tier 1 tower. And if the current state of affairs goes on for too long, I think eventually Polaris can take the Dire Tower, and then they can just park their Tidehunter at bottom.
Ooh, Alex trying to make the little jump there onto Natsumi, using the birds already. The moment those birds are up, Alex returns to the bottom lane, and yeah, suddenly he's all interested in being friends with the Vici again.
Yeah, he may have given away his ward a little bit there, Natsumi, but still certainly worth it just to keep on farming.
Polaris moving 2 heroes down to the bottom lane under the cover of smoke. If they can catch out Double-elimination right now, they will make his game very, very miserable. Miserable-er, I guess. And now he sees AU. Double-elimination. He's actually starting off with a couple of hits onto AU here, but they're looking to try and bring down the birds, but they're able to get out the donk on one of them, but the other one is going to die. Double-elimination takes down the 2. Oh, it actually gets denied by Xavius. Very nicely done.
Alone's down here with the Thunder God's Wrath again.
Yep. Sees Xavius, sees Natsumi. Natsumi still has the Shadow Dancer. Very tricky target to bring down. Natsumi knows there's something wrong here.
Yeah, he's just he's really confusing Natsumi with this. It's like, oh god, it's warded, and it's still warded here, and it's still warded
and there's
here.
A ward up here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to think about any of this. I'm just gonna get some creeps. They're too confusing. But no, I'm sure they've pieced it together. That's why Xavier's sticking around. And Zeus will return forlornly to the middle lane. Alas, 'twas not a kill. And top lane, Eve's kind of forcing the tower. It's tier 1 tower in the top lane. It's taken a ton of damage from the Tidehunter. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, Force is #1 on net worth. And he's going to get this by himself eventually. Lelouch even rotating up to help out. They do have the level 6 on Sam, and he's just going to unleash.
He's going for it right now. Lelouch taking some heavy hits, turns around to get up a couple of spells, but they'll be able to bring him down. Yves catches him out with the adaptive strike, and now starts unleashing onto Force. Ravage is there, though, on top of Alone, and with the stuns they've got available, they will be able to bring down this Zeus, so he's just going to back away. Not much he can do now as the Tidehunter returns to this lane. Force, absolute control over this top side of the map. No one's going to contest him for that.
And this is what I was talking about. The Tidehunter's in the position where he can now just TP down bottom and be the guardian of this tier 1 tower. And not going to be easy for Wildcard to punch through this. Like 3 points Kraken Shell. Tidehunter does not care about your birds. You can take them somewhere else. Come back when you're level 12.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, needs some more bird power and needs some more points in the sidekick as well to really buff them up and make them a threat. But of course, you want the rebound first. That spell's just too damn good to ignore.
So one thing we haven't talked about, and I guess we haven't even really seen just yet from Lelouch, is whether he's going to consider going for the magic build this game. It's been pretty popular against the Morphling, especially. He's a bit non-committal so far. He's just got a Falcon Blade and he's going for a BKB, so could still go either way as the game progresses. Maybe seeing how his Slark's timings are progressing. Trying to line things up with Natsumi, who's just going for a diffusal.
Yep, makes sense. Always nice to try and align your timings. But yeah, I think this is what we see a lot of from Lena's, right? Going for the BKB as the very early pickup.
I do think that they could go toe-to-toe with Wildcard in the late game here, but I also don't know if that's Polaris' style. I think they'd prefer to just be the ones actively controlling the map, actively taking the team fights, and so we will start to see them grouping up Probably sooner rather than later, especially with the level of farm that Force is getting. You already got a Blink Dagger. It feels like it's been a very long laning stage. It feels like the lanes are still going 13 minutes into this one.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. You know, last game I asked you at what point in the game we're going to start to see them moving around, what timings we're waiting for, but it honestly feels like Lena's waiting for her BKB before she really makes many moves on the map. She doesn't want to end up getting jumped and brought down too quickly by the Marcy. It's such a threat of a hero.
Yeah, I mean, Alex was able to just get the Undying to pop his Tombstone and his ulti, and then just hopped on out of there. Did trade it for the Unleash, but he's drawing attention towards top while the rest of his team is off farming. Though this is like about the best position that they can get on the map. Again, how do you ever unseat this Tidehunter from bottom? He's a real barnacle.
He is. Yeah, having a great time. Just being sticky, being annoying, and slowing down the game a ridiculous amount. So, Wildcard not really getting in line, but at the same time, you know, they're kind of fine with that as well. It is going to be a while before we see them make a move. So in the top lane, Alex able to get the jump away from the Slark. Doesn't quite connect with that pounce. So Alex will be all right.
Yeah, I don't think Davai Lama is that unhappy about sitting here farming across from the Tide. He would be unhappy about getting hit by this smoke gank, but he has kind of randomly avoided it. Maybe not.
No, unfortunately not. Xavius and Loach right on top of him. Laguna Blade coming on down, and the right click will finish the job. And that'll be Loach getting himself another kill here on the Lina.
Sam's got another ultimate that he's keen to use. Maybe they can kill the Tide with Zeus damage and like a full Mortimer Kisses, but...
Yeah. Davai Lama might be dead, but his birds can still do a lot of stunning for him. Probably not the Tidehunter though.
It's farm stations for both teams currently. We're chilling. Maybe the stalemate will break once the BKB comes out on the Lina or something. But... Yeah.
Well, Natsumi's gone for the Diffusal Blade, then into the Aghanim, so that's going to give him the flexibility when it comes to these fights. Getting in deep and then getting out again. Very, very powerful Ags, in my opinion.
This is why you don't let your cores place wards. So Natsumi just put that one right on top of an existing sentry, so that one got dealt with pretty easily. He wanted to put a ward down for himself to to keep on playing on this top side, since his team does not have any plans on coming and joining him up here for a bit. But...
No. Ooh. But, they managed to get the pick off there onto Xavius down in the bottom lane, but Natsumi trying to get a bit of revenge here and moving on to Davai Lama. No help coming in for Davai, but also not really under much threat at all, to be honest. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, a bit of a siege coming out from Polaris. They've dropped the Tombstone even to make sure they get this tower, and again, Wildcard just don't really feel like they can contest it. A very, very passive game from Wildcard this time around.
There's not a whole lot that they can do. Even the Slark is strong enough to just hold off bottom currently, so Polaris getting that for free. Davai even lost one of his birds, so he's now got another 90 seconds to wait before he gets the second one up. And he might not even want to use it right away, because he's getting pretty close to level 12. And you do have to resummon the birds to get the updated stats.
Xavius jumping in, using that Tumbler's Toy to close in the gap. Natsumi on top of him as well. Force coming over from round the back. Everyone suddenly here onto this position. No help coming his way. He is just dead.
They're trying to top. Get a little bit of a jump, but the Lina's waiting there.
She's going to be able to at least get them one return. No,
the smoke! He popped the smoke and disjointed the tower shot that saved him.
All right. Okay.
It's expensive, but sure, go for it.
Yeah, values his life very highly. Respect it. You're a king.
That was nice. Okay, well, they suspected that might happen, but they didn't get the turnaround, unfortunately. All right, back to farm stations. Everybody chill out.
All right, let's look at some more items. Does he have his next bird? No, he doesn't. Still running around mono-birded. It's very embarrassing. I'd rather have no birds than one bird. Just looks silly when you've already got one bird. What? A bit of stuff been thrown.
He's got one frog
here.
now. How about that?
All right, that'll do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he really just wants to get the level 12 before he hits the resummon. We got a pipe on the Tidehunter as well. Surely we have to be approaching some kind of go time. Maybe you want the Ags on the Slark. That does tend to be the timing when we start seeing the Slarks actually getting active and get in and then get back out of the team fight.
Yeah, for sure. That's a big time for him. The Tidehunter as well. He's got the Blink Dagger in the pipe, so he's ready to go. Wants to join this engagement. Sammy Boy has been seen, as has Davai Lama here. Ravage ready to go as well, should he want to use it. In it comes. Both heroes locked down as they'll move their attention towards Visage, and Davai Lama will get dropped. Finger comes through. Now they look towards Sammy as well. Cookie comes through, but it's not going to be enough to save him. Caught by the stun, and the damage is there from the Tide. Natsumi grabs that kill.
Well, they might at least get an objective trade. No, Lelouch is still going to be able to hold on to mid. Polaris being really clinical with these rotations. Just, they're not giving up an inch on the map. Wildcard's lineup's a little bit too greedy for them to get away with some of this. The Morphling has farmed his way back into the #1 spot on the net worth, so Eve's once again making the sticking the landing, making the recovery.
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't think the game is looking not great for Wildcard, but not awful either. Like this can still go to plan.
Yeah.
Provided, I mean, Davai Lama just
Natsumi
needs to. This is bad. This is really bad. Alone catching him out. Well, actually, I think it was Sammy catching him out there, right?
Yeah, Sam tried to cookie on top of him. He managed to pounce that, and then after that, he just got popped by all the spells.
Oh, hey, Force. How's it going, buddy? This Titan can pretty much just walk anywhere he feels like walking on the map at the moment, so... Yeah.
We are seeing a bit of why Polaris were willing to leave this Visage so late in the draft. It does feel like they've dealt with it pretty effectively.
Yeah, it does.
Wildcard haven't really been able to... it hasn't been the heart and soul of the draft, right? Davai Lama's just going to have to do what he can, and it's about Alone and Eves now.
Yeah. And to be fair, they kind of just ditched Davai Lama very early on. Alex went to help out mid and just kind of mostly sat at mid for most of the game, the laning phase, so Davai Lama not having much of a start to the game, but Polaris now inside the pit. Wildcard, is there anything they can do about this? Is there anything they want to do about this? I don't think so.
This is the exact play that got them into trouble in the previous game, but it's a very different set of circumstances this time around. There's no Davai Lama axe or anything like that,
yes.
so...
That's pretty crucial.
Yeah, we have had the question answered about what the build is going to be for the Lina. It does look like he's still just planning on going for a predominantly right-click focused build. So I think Morphling going to be happier about that. Doesn't have to worry so much about just getting absolutely demolished by the spell damage. And Eve's no BKB just yet is actually trying to pick up the Ags first, so try and grab onto that Slark form in the fights and maybe go looking for the supports in the backline, something like that.
Yeah, very valuable to steal that Slark form and apply the debuffs to him.
Yeah, apply the debuff. You don't necessarily want to go fighting the Slark himself, but just kind of play like him in the back of the fight. Ooh, Xavius, you got to blink. Yeah, he's fine.
Ooh, sad.
He's fine.
Got his smoke popped. That's unfortunate. Alone sees Natsumi, but Natsumi leaping away with that Aghanims and getting himself to safety. The gank unfortunately failing for the side of Wildcard as Polaris still holding on to that middle tier 1 tower.
Very slow, very methodical. Polaris, it's got to be in the back of their minds that, that any mistakes here, that's going to be the end of their last chance qualifier run. So no reason to do anything too risky. Yes, they're kind of pincering here at bottom. Might just be Alex going down.
Actually moving into the triangle here, so not moving in Alex's direction. In fact, moving in towards no one's direction, really. Maybe they can connect with mid where Eves is, but Eves is kind of directly moving away from them at the moment, so definitely not going to connect with this smoke. But still, vision placed down. A very nice deep ward placed there by E if you see it next to the tier 2 tower in the middle lane, suggesting that is going to be the next objective.
Yeah, Wildcard seemed to have some kind of idea that there might be something here playing on this side. Gotta be careful though.
Xavier's very annoying. Alex jumping in, but the blink away.
He's got a BKB, so he can't afford to be a little bit crazier, though could end up being punished by this blink on the line, which they have seen, so they at least know what they're dealing with on that front. And I think we have, we got both of our Ags up, so maybe the carries are looking to fight now. I think Natsumi's seen the Ags, so he's also just going to be going for a Lincoln's. I think we saw this in the VP Xtreme series as well, and on the one hand I get it, on the other hand you're playing against Soul Assumption, Arc Lightning, like Adaptive Strike. Is this really going to do for you what you
is it worth 4,200 gold basically? Is that how much it costs in the moment? 4,600 gold, yeah. Is it worth that much to block maybe one Soul Assumption, you know, like...
Yeah, and like not. Most of the stuns are AoE as well, right? It's it's rebound, it's familiar stuns, it's the cookie. I don't know that he's truly safe in the Shadow Dance. He's playing as if he is, but I don't know if this is the item. We'll see. He hasn't bought anything just yet. Could still end up changing his mind.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see a Mage Slayer, honestly, or something like that. You know, just get on top of the Zeus in the back lines and try and punish that. As Alex does jump in on this one, popping the BKB. They want to try and take down Force, or at least force a Ravage out of him. Alex moving up to the high underground and seeing everybody here and think, oh, maybe I don't want to be here anymore. Tries to run away as Alex comes out onto Sammy Boy. Sammy Boy getting beaten down by Natsumi. That'll be the first blood of this fight. Wildcard getting themselves back. They don't really want to take this fight to Polaris too harshly. Polaris have already taken down their Pos 5, and I think they might just have to give up the tier 2 tower in the end. Davai trying to get a bit of counter push going. Oh, Natsumi finding another kill here. Alex in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, they are making this a trade in the meantime, but Natsumi's trying to come down and punish Davai Lama.
Yeah, he's going to find him. DP out. Will have the pounce, though, so he's able to cancel that one with ease. And now, with Davies coming across as well, Davai Lama is going to fall. Natsumi just chaining up 3 kills in a row here.
They're not even backing off at mid. There's only 2 heroes alive.
Ravage coming down. Luge getting on top of the Morphing. Morphing doesn't have the strength. Morph going. He's gone as well. Polaris turning up the heat here in game number 2. And Wildcard are just not ready for it.
Man. It looked okay. It's like, oh, we only lost the Snapfire in that little engagement that we went for previously, and then, oh, it's another pick, and it's another pick, and it's another 2 more picks, and suddenly Polaris just completely in control of the map. Alone doing good damage.
Alone.
He's gonna kill
oh, no, he's
okay.
What? Where was your BKB? Where's the Aegis? Well, he had so much to survive through that. Middle lane, Snapfire trying to get away from Natsumi. Natsumi's going to be able to bring him down, or at least Xavier's getting the kill. Alone's nearby, though, looking for the opportunity to get in on this, but it's kind of difficult at the time. So the Aegis had just run out. But
yeah, it was just getting reclaimed at that exact moment, and Alone just jammed that kill.
Why no BKB? I'm very confused.
Yeah, I guess he thought that he could just scooch away in the under invis. But
it's gonna scooch on out of here if that's alright with you guys. Alone trying to get this kill onto the line. Not sure this is worth it though. He's very low mana on the Zeus. Alright. Wildcard bringing in the cavalry, but Forces being the one broken down here. As Alex pops a BKB once again to try and take down this Tidehunter, and they'll be able to do exactly that. So pretty big target brought down, honestly. Wildcard, they're the ones able to get a couple of pickoffs now.
And I thought Alone, with the build that he was going, that like an Ags or whatever the next item was going to be insanely slow, but he's now just gotten 2 massive core kills back to back, and suddenly he has 3,000 gold. So to me, in that other series where we talked about the Zeus versus the Slark, that the Ags was absolutely instrumental. So
yes, it really was. He's got almost 1,000 gold for killing a Loach, by the way. Didn't touch on that, but that is ridiculous.
Well, this whole series does feel like it's been a little bit 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the winning team in each case, and still anyone's game, really. Does not feel like there's a super significant advantage one way or the other. The fights are super volatile, as we've seen. Whoever gets the jump is really going to be all important. And Sam, to that end, again, going to be picking up a gem, just try and keep control of the high grounds, get the D wards. A couple of stray observer wards surviving did almost cost them that previous game.
Yeah, it's there's been a little bit of allowing some vision to happen when it shouldn't be. Yeah, a bit risky.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wildcard. Oh, they see Force here. They'll throw the Ethereal Blade on him straight away, but Natsumi trying to get on top of the Zeus. Zeus needs to get away from the Slark and will be able to do so. In fact, he's popped the Shadow Dance very, very early here. I'm wondering if they can follow up from this. There comes the Ravage on the front lines, but not really connecting onto many heroes here as Xavier's will go down. Force as well going to fall as Yves getting on top of Lelouch here, but Natsumi's on top of him. 2 cores on 1. How does this work out for you? You need your Zeus, you need it fast, and he'll come from the side and take out Lelouch. Now they'll go towards Natsumi as well. Natsumi backing himself away, wants to give himself a chance to regen, then come back in on this one, but Ayu might be dead by the time that happens. Will he be able to keep himself alive? There will be a soul rip, but with the soul assumptions and the damage from the Zeus, they will bring him down, but Natsumi jumping in on this. He's got to be careful, he'll blink himself back up to the high ground, pounce away, and Wildcard, they get the advantage in this fight once again.
Natsumi just can't stand and hit. Yeah, used both pounces to get in, and the Force Staff came out from Sam, kept Alone alive, and once you press the BKBs and the Zeus hasn't died, the teamfight's going to get very, very difficult at the other end. This is Xavier's buying back into the game as well.
Yeah, hasn't really gotten much done with this. They're actually pouncing away from Roshan and now pasting back out alone. Is this the play you want to make, my friend? It's certainly not. He's got the Aeon Disc and he's going to assemble it to try and get away from Natsumi. Natsumi giving a real hard chase right now. Double-elimination even going with the blocks. Wow, that was pretty impressive from him to block a Shadow Dance Slark, who then bounces himself away. There's some high-octane shit coming out from Natsumi.
Yeah, so Alone, after the way that previous fight went, just deciding that he absolutely had to pick up the Aeon Disc instead of trying to grab the Ags. Worked out perfectly for him there. He was about to be one more permanent Agi for the Slark. I still want to harp on the Lincolns a little bit. I don't know if it's doing a whole heck of a lot. What's he gone for next? Just the Basher? Oh no, he's just got the Shard. Okay.
Yeah, I'd get that nice little depth Shroud.
Getting a little afraid of this Marcy. There was a moment there in that last fight, you know, Alex jumped in on top of the Tide and then suddenly saw the Lina in his sights, and there was a little string of punches and Lina suddenly lost 1/3 of her HP. And once he gets the Basher, the Lina might not make it away so easily next time.
I'm loving the way Natsumi's playing this Slark, even though it's a bit haphazard, it's a bit dangerous, but it's very, very enjoyable to watch. Lelouch quick on the BKB. They're punishing Alex for the jump in. Won't be able to get the kill though, so to be fair, pretty nice for Alex there to just jump in, get a free BKB, and get himself out again.
Yeah, that's really good. And Wildcard just getting more and more tools to deal with this Slark as the game goes on. Divine Lama's got his Shard, so he can kind of buy some time for his team to bail him out. Alone, as we've seen, with the Aeon Disc. And Xavier's just up here all by himself. Lock him down for a second, but he's dead.
Yeah, he's not going to last. Divine Lama thinks he's going to sweep in and steal the kill with Soul Assumption, but that's not going to happen. Zeus taking it for himself. So, hey, what are Polaris waiting for then? What is their time to go and fight? Do they just want to wait for the Aegis to be out completely before they take a fight on their terms?
Yeah, maybe Aegis is out, and I don't know, maybe you have to farm still a BKB on the Slark. The BKB also doesn't solve the problem of actually sticking to these targets, which seems to be where they're really having issues. Maybe Force with the Shivas is going to change that a little bit, but it almost feels like he needs a nullifier.
Yeah, I see what you mean about that.
Yeah, just for the Aeon Disc and the Force Staffs.
Exactly.
But
It does give you decent damage as well, to be fair.
Yeah, oh, it just feels like this Linked Sphere has just completely killed his item progression. Like, I really don't know. I know I put the Ags on the Zeus, and Wildcard with 2 minutes on the Aegis, so looking towards the high ground.
Yes, he has got off the Strength Morph here, but this might be the Aegis just gone. Let's see if he can get away. There is a cookie coming out and a wayfall up to the high ground. He's just going to be okay.
I can't deal with the voice line.
Are scanning.
It's too much. It's too powerful.
It's a lot. It's a lot. We consider ourselves professionals, adults, but yeah, everyone has a limit.
Everyone was talking about the caster voice lines, but nobody was looking at the team bundles.
Wildcard voice line.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the moment this cast is over, I'm buying it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy 10 and send them to all my friends.
Yeah. They got the tail end of a double damage on this Lina, but I don't think did Polaris have this Aegis timed properly because there's still a minute remaining.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure they're that worried about Aegis time. I think they just want to go and fire, but they're actually initiating onto the Morphling, so they want to take down his first life, and they will be able to do so. So, life on the Morphling gone. They didn't have to commit Ravage for it either, but they might not get a chance to. There's a lot of damage coming through onto him. Does get off the Ravage, but dies immediately afterwards, along with Natsumi. That is a huge cost to pay. Now they'll look for more. They'll move across to AU as well. The stun from the Lion will miss, and they will take down another. Polaris just getting way too ambitious with that play.
But it looked really great to start, right? They get the Aegis without having to use the Ravage. They're hanging around like, oh boy, we still got Depth Shroud. We still got Shadow Dance. Slark's fine. And he just got obliterated. Desperately, I don't want to harp on it too much, but desperately wishing that he had a BKB. Just look at this. He gets E-bladed.
Surely.
Yeah, so here comes the Chainstorm from the birds. E-blade, locked down, and then just dies in the end to the Mortimer Kisses.
Yep, Sammy boy getting the double kill.
Sammy making the Wildcard making the Snapfire look amazing.
Yeah,
this series.
They've had some serious success with it in these two games. Oh my god, Eves, that's aggressive. Does get caught out by the LSA, but there's going to be a cookie to get it back. And yeah, I mean, I guess when you're cores of maniacs, the cookie feels like a really good spell.
it's very value having this Force Staff and having this Fire Snap cookie.
But Sammy, I've gone in too deep again. Yeah, okay.
Oopsie.
Alright, so Aegis is now gone on Wildcard. It has finally timed out, so I imagine we'll see Polaris try and make something happen, but I don't know, Natsumi might just want to farm up a BKB at this point. It just feels impossible for him to play the game.
Yeah, I think that last fight has shown him pretty clearly where his priorities need to be. He's got a little bit of time. The Roshan respawn is still at minimum 2 minutes away, so they've got that time. They really need a gem. Xavius realizing it as well. He's got it queued up on the quick buy right now. So, okay, they grab it. Maybe they can start getting a little bit of this ward vision game back. They shouldn't, in theory, they shouldn't be struggling with having the Slark to give them the information, but it's not like it's not long-standing wards that are doing it for Wildcard, right? They're just putting down the opportunistic ward in the middle of the team fight and seeing what they need to see.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And I wanted to talk about it earlier, but we didn't have a second. But I think some of this is seeing the weakness of the Tidehunter in some ways. Like, he can't take over a game by himself. Force was number one in the net worth. He was absolutely huge, and it just amounted to... Oh,
Natsumi jumping onto everyone right here. He's got this brand new BKB, which he's keen to show off, but he's still being kited. Can't lock anyone down. Kiss is coming over the top as well. They're on top of the loot. They've got so much damage to throw into him. Alex and Yves tear him apart, move across towards the Tidehunter as well. Natsumi's still just bouncing around the back lines of the fight like a ping pong ball, but unfortunately, he's doing about as much damage as a ping pong ball, so he's just going to teep himself away. It's another fight for Wildcard going exactly how they want it to.
The Lina just dies to Marcy. I mean, there was a couple of auto attacks there from the Morphling as well, but for all of Lelouch's net worth and for all of his success on this hero, Wildcard absolutely have his number. And now they're heading up onto the high ground.
There's just not enough control. The fights aren't lasting long enough for the Slark to be able to get off any of this damage. Like, he's got the items, but he just cannot help. And Oh dear.
Yeah, well, I don't think they can really do anything. They're absolutely cleaning this up. Alone is even sitting here on the front lines, hitting the buildings. We have been in this situation once before. The previous game for Wildcard. So hopefully they are having a little discussion about, okay, what did we goof up last time? Let's make sure that that doesn't happen again. Let's just stay together. Yeah, secure the Aegis.
I'd like to get a look back on that last fight, actually, and see. Because, I mean, the Slark pounces in and then pops the BKB in. Oh, actually, he's managed to get on top of Double-elimination here. He's got a BKB charge available. Going to use a Depth Shroud for now, just to keep on catching a couple of stacks. He's got 11 for now, but will bounce himself away. And he's got that more fragility drain on him as well, which is very annoying as well, so...
Yeah, he's just going to be all over the place. They will at least have the Ravage back off cooldown by the time Roshan respawns. But... yeah, that last fight, Slark jumped in, he popped BKB, he got kited, he pressed the outpost for a second.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I mean, it wasn't really a big deal.
Here we go.
Yeah, so he jumped in, you know, jump away. Dispose is kind of weird. He popped BKB, tried to cap the outpost. tried to hit the Wraith Pact a little bit.
Yeah.
Puts the Depth Shroud down. It wasn't on top of his Lina. He pops the Aeon Disc. It's just... yeah, he's just bouncing around from target to target and not really being able to latch in on top of anyone.
And as tradition, we have a little look at Double-elimination afterwards, just because he's got such a lovely face. Why not? You know.
He's got a face for Dota, whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Doesn't sound like a nice thing, but 15k gold advantage for the side of Wildcard right now. They are very, very close to throwing Polaris out of the TI-11 last chance qualifiers, which I would consider an upset. I think Polaris are
absolutely.
Very good team.
Yeah, Polaris have looked great. You know, Wildcard, we talked them up in our long fill beforehand, but I think the conclusion for most people would have been, look, this could go either way, but probably Polaris favored. You know, maybe a Polaris 2-1. And we are staring down the barrel of a Wildcard 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, this next rush could decide everything, but there's just I have no confidence that Natsumi's going to be able to get up his damage in the fight. Since the Lion's just going to get taken over, trying to go for a bit of a warding adventure, gets punished for it, and Yeeves in the pit immediately.
All right, they've got a couple of buybacks.
Yeah, we'll be using the Lion as Natsumi. Coming and poking a little bit, seeing what there is to see. Polaris, what can you do? What can you pull off? When their backs are against the wall, that is often when they're strongest, but it's a big ask right now, and this Roshan is nearly gone already, and they're just making sure that no one's going to interrupt it. Force coming on over, but it's not going to be soon enough. Aegis into the hands of Yeeves now, and now they'll look forward for more as they get on top of AU. He's going to full force forced up the high ground, but they're just keeping on chasing. Wildcard showing no signs of giving up as Yeeves taking the Lion's form to try and bring him down as Alex gets on top of the Tidehunter and takes him out of the game. 2 heroes dead with buyback, but Wildcard are mounting the offensive right now. All they really need to do is cut one wave at top and their lanes will be in absolutely great position.
Who's getting the Egg's Blessing? It's still in Eve's back. Oh, Xavier's on the high ground.
Yep, they'll throw in Alone, and he's able to finish off the job. Thank you very much, Sammy boy. They move over towards Loach. Ooh, don't quite connect with the stun there.
Natsumi can't even kill Alex. He was chasing around the Marcy in the back lines. Didn't get it.
Loach. With the Satanic, with the Silver Edge, with the BKB, still unable to get off the damage. And get off the kills, they jump in with the Ravage, they're trying to find Alone, but he's got the Aeon Disc, so he's just able to jump himself away. Natsumi still staying on top of him for now, popping the BKB as well as he tries to bring down the Zeus. Alone, he is getting very, very low, but Natsumi is going to be able to finish the job, and he will get the kill. Now moving across for more. Eves stealing the Slark form, pouncing himself away, but has got the Aegis to work with, but really doesn't want to use it like this. He's going to get himself into the river and get himself out. It is a successful defense from the side of Polaris. They find the Zeus for the first time in a long time.
I don't know if Wildcard need to spend any buybacks or anything here. I think they can just chill. There's only one Rax remaining. They did manage to get the melee. They've still got the Aegis for 3.5 minutes. It was a nice little passover of the Aghanims during that push to give the Visage the Silence the Grave. So that made it pretty easy for Double-elimination to get out. But I see no reason not to just wait for Zeus to respawn. But as I say this, Wildcard are just going to go. And the Ravage is on cooldown.
Yeah, I
maybe
guess
they can just punish here.
And you see the replay with Natsumi literally just zeroing on it alone, just trying to take him down. But live, they have managed to find a loot, and this is a huge kill. The basher out from Alex, just keeping him locked down. Doesn't get a chance to use a single spell, BKB or anything. Lelouch is just taken off the face of the earth. Xavius? Well, they're actually jumping the backlines here. They want to try and take down Sidepoint. They'll be able to do exactly that, but the chain stunts coming out onto both Force and Natsumi as he's trying to fight up into the Tidehunter. Tide gonna get taken down as well. He gets a kill. Natsumi in the backlines, trying to bring down the Visage. He has a lot of damage and will be able to get that one. Now moving over towards a Morphling. He's got a lot of stacks. My boy's up to 42 agility right now. Sorry, 42 essence shift, which is 180 agility. He just can't fight this anymore. He needs to leave. But in comes the Zeus. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's the slug! He gets evaporated from the face of the earth!
Oh, he's not going to make it out either.
Oh no, this might be it. Polaris. They'll lose another 4 heroes dead. Base wide open. The red carpet laid out for Wildcard to finish this one off.
Man. Absolutely a glimmer of hope there with the Slark getting all the stacks, but alone just slams the door shut in their face. Great play from Eves as well, getting the jump away. Double-elimination's going ham again. He's feeling it.
Yep, look at this. Eves taking down the barracks, getting the megas, and now they will just look to take down those tier 4s. Making an offering of power treads as well. Oh,
actually,
you want to deny him so he gets the buyback, right?
Yeah,
no,
yeah, you shouldn't interact with those items. Don't do it.
It's a trap. Well, you've taken some heavy hits right now, but does have the Aegis, of course, so isn't really worried. Polaris, what can they do? I mean, they do have a Lina and a Lion. Definitely a worse combo to be stuck trying to defend here, but as Lina has no BKB, it might be pretty difficult to survive through the Zeus. Zeus is just going to take them both out alone. He closes the door, and that's going to be it. GG gets called, and Wildcard get the 2-0 over Polaris. 4-esque, says Double-elimination.
Dang. GG, no airport.
Wow,
oh my god.
Wow.
Look at them. Do they even believe it? They're just... Alright, alright. There's some hugs. They're moving on. Wow.
They are indeed. Yeah, still a long, long way to go for this Wild